Good morning, everybody. Welcome back for installment of Scott Selections here for Sunday, September 24th. For again, today's play of the day. Quick recap of what happened yesterday. We had a loss in college football with Iowa State and Oklahoma State. First quarter under 7.5 at minus 135 on DraftKings. It looked really good early, and then it completely fell apart on us. So you had no points in the first 9 minutes of the quarter, and Oklahoma State had first and 10 at its own 17-yard line, and then everything fell apart. Oklahoma State had a massive run for 70 plus yards, scored a touchdown on the next play. Iowa State got the ball back, went downfield, had fourth and short at around the 40, and then Oklahoma State forgot to cover somebody as there was a guy wide open in the end zone. 14 points in about 3 minutes, and our bet went up in flames. So the quarter plays have not been good for us. We're going to stop doing them, but we were in good shape early, fell apart late. Happens. Look for a winner here on Sunday. And for today's play of the day, going to go to the NFL. Get a look at a matchup between the Cowboys and the Cardinals, taking place at around 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time. And for this game, I'm going to take a play that we actually won with on Thursday night. I'm going to go with the kickers. We're going to look at Cowboys kicker Brandon Aubrey, and we're going to take him over 1.5 made field goals at minus 125 in BetMGM. Time recording of 2:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Covering why we're going to take the over here for field goals made. First reason, Dallas has attempted a bunch of field goals so far this season. They have 7 field goal attempts through the first 2 weeks of the season, and Aubrey's made all 7 kicks. He made 2 in week 1. He made 5 last week against the Jets. And he also has a very powerful leg. He made a 55-yarder in the game against the Jets last week. He made a 59-yarder in preseason. If you saw either kick, they would have been good from probably 63, 64. He crushed it. Auburn's got a great leg, and I do think, once again, that gives him added range where McCarthy will send him out there for what could be a 60-yarder if needed, and I do think he can deliver a make in that spot. But so far this season, Dallas has been dominant in time possession, and Arizona has not. So Dallas ranks 6th in time possession. Arizona ranks 18th. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to be as dominant as the game last week against the Jets, where the Jets barely had the ball. But I do think that Dallas's defense is an elite unit with or without Diggs. Going to be worse without Diggs, but still a pretty solid unit. And Arizona's offense has been, I'd say, better than expected, but still below average. And we know Dallas's pass rush is filthy with Micah Parsons. I do think Dobbs is going to struggle in this game, and I do think that Dallas should have possession of the ball a lot throughout this 60-minute matchup. But to go through the actual issue with Dallas's offense so far this season, they have not been good at finishing drives off with touchdowns. So far this season, Dallas has only scored touchdowns on 50% of their red zone trips, which ranks tied for 21st in the league. Now, Arizona defensively has been mediocre in terms of red zone defense, but the point is Dallas has really not been great in these spots, and I do think, once again, they might settle for a short field goal or two. If not, I do think they'll be able to move the ball into field goal range throughout this game. But to go through the defensive numbers here, Dallas is allowing just 193 yards per game, which is the fewest in the league. Arizona is allowing 343.5, which ranks 18th. Now, once again, Dallas's defense will take a step back without Diggs in the lineup, but it's still a very solid unit. Gilmore's still a solid corner. They have a good linebacking core. The pass rush, once again, is crazy. And I do think Arizona will be forced to throw the ball a lot because the ground game has not worked against Dallas, which should result in more clock stoppages and maybe more possessions for Dallas in the grand scheme of things. But if you want to actually look at one thing that I did notice for the upcoming games on Sunday, there's a lot of really bad weather games out there, so keep an eye out for those. But for that reason, I am going to go to a spot where weather is not a factor because it's in Arizona in the desert and there's a dome. So I do like the fact that conditions will not be an issue for this game because they're going to have a roof. And I do think when you're looking at Aubrey's numbers this season, he's been great, 7 for 7. And once again, Dallas should be able to generate a lot of points in this game. Their team total is 27.5. So you're expecting them to probably walk into at least 27, maybe 30. Point is a lot of possessions potentially deep in Arizona territory, and I do think they'll settle for a couple field goals. So the play that I once again here for Sunday, September 24th is going to be on Brandon Aubrey over 1.5 field goals at minus 125 on BetMGM. Bye, everyone.